YouTube, guys. Let's see. All right, I think we're live. All right, hey guys, happy Monday. Listen, how was your Christmas? How was your New Year's? What did you guys do? I'm super excited to be connecting with you guys today. What did you do for New Year's? Tap in, let me know, how was your 2023 starting off? And we're gonna get into this discussion today. Let me make sure I can see my chat. Hey guys that are hopping in. And then if you're catching this in a replay, go ahead, say hey, let me know where you're catching this from, what city, what state, what country you are catching this from if this is a replay. All right, but I wanted to talk about going 100% virtual in your tax and accounting business, okay? Well, I still frequently talk to people that see about more than 25% of their clients are still coming into a physical office, right? They're still coming into a physical office. So I did a step-by-step transition plan in my new book. So those that are new, you can now order my book off Amazon, right? It's called High Value, High Ticket. It's a complete training guide on how to start, grow, and scale your virtual tax and accounting firm to 7 figures. But in chapter 2, I talk about transitioning your brick and mortar to 100% virtual, right? And so if you are in a position where you still see more than 25% of your clients, so if you have 100 clients and you still got at least 25 people coming in, this is for you, okay? While seeing clients is okay, and I'm not saying that you can't do it, right? You can do whatever you want to do, but when it comes to actually scaling and growing your business and making sure that you have the capacity to actually serve the type of people that you want to serve, right, in your business, it's really hard to do that when you're waiting on individual people in person, right? And I go over that in this book. Now, one of the things that I want to go over today on the live is the step-by-step checklist that I have in my book, right? So those that are joining, you can go ahead on Amazon and grab my High Value, High Ticket book. But in chapter 2, you have a going virtual checklist, right? So here's what I say. One of the very first things that you want to do is you want to export your tax and bookkeeping list from your software, right? So as of right now, you have a list of all of your clients, all of your prospects. You have that somewhere, right? Normally it's going to be in your tax software. It's going to be within your QuickBooks system. Maybe you have some people on email lists, but the key is to aggregate your entire list together so that you can upload that to your email provider, right? One of the main components of going virtual in your business is to make sure that you're heavily leveraging email, right? So now you need to make sure that you're sending out, your client organizers or their onboarding links through email, making sure that you're sending your tax updates through email, making sure that, you have this virtual component on how you are communicating with your prospects and your clients, right? Now, once you have your list, you're going to upload that into your email provider. So you can use MailChimp, you can use ConvertKit, you can use ActiveCampaign. There's so many different email providers on the market. Just choose one, choose the one that's most cost effective for you. Once you do that, you're going to actually create mailing address tabs, right? So one of the things that I used to do, or that I did do when I first went virtual, some people don't check their email, right? And sometimes your email goes to the promotions tab, or it goes to updates, or it goes to spam, right? We can't really control oftentimes where our emails go when we do send them to our prospects and our clients. So one of the ways I want you to make sure that people know that you are virtual this year is go ahead and send them out an actual snail mail, right? So Microsoft Word has a mail merge template where you upload your list and it automatically creates the mailing labels for you, right? So you're going to go ahead and create these mailing labels in Microsoft Word, print them all out, and go ahead and utilize the letter template, that I have in the book to mail it to your clients. And I'll go over the letter in just a second. So what you're going to do, you're going to email and you're going to send a hard copy snail mail of your going virtual notice, right? So you need to put everybody on notice that you are going virtual. Okay. Now, here is the letter template. And I put the letter template in the book, right? So you can go ahead and copy this, customize it to your liking, make it flow with your firm, but use this as a template, right? So I'm going to read a little bit of what it says. It says, "Hi, Nay. We hope you had a very prosperous year. We are looking forward to serving you and helping you pay the least amount of taxes in tax year," right? Put the tax year. So you're going to say tax year 2022 with strategic strategies. "We are excited to announce that we are going 100% virtual for 2022 or for the tax year 2022 or 2023. And we want to explain how we are going to be doing business going forward." Now, one of the things that I know worked well for me and has worked well for my clients is when you go virtual, you need to explain step by step how your clients are going to do business with you, right? Like if they're confused, if they don't really know the process, they don't really know how to upload their docs or how to communicate with you, how to get support, it's going to create a negative client experience, right? And you don't want to do that. So in your letter, I list out the very specific steps that you're going to tell your clients that they're going to take so that you can provide the highest quality of services to them, right? So you're going to detail that out. So not only are you emailing this going virtual letter, but you're also going to print it out and mail it to your existing clients just to make sure that you cover all your bases. Now, one of the other things that I have in here is that oftentimes, even when you email, even when you send an actual snail mail to your client, some people still don't get it, right? It goes to their spam and then they moved their address. So it's sent, but they still didn't get it because they moved from that address. So what you want to do is those of the folks that you hadn't heard from, right? You start to prepare taxes, people start to come into your virtual firm. You start to notice that some people hadn't came back yet. So what you want to do is actually text and call those people, right? We want to make sure that you have as high as conversion rate as possible. And what this means is if you had 100 people coming into your office, or maybe let's just say 50 people coming into your office, you want to try to get 50 people to come back to you with the virtual setup, right? Them becoming a virtual client. Now, in a perfect world, 50 is the perfect world, but is that realistic? No. Every single year, tax professionals, bookkeepers, accountants, CPA firms from all over the world lose clients every single year, right? It's normal to have attrition, right? Or to have churn in your business. That is completely normal. Not everybody is going to churn, or not everybody is going to be retained every single year. Now, what you do want to keep in mind is how many people are not being retained every single year to make sure that that number is within the KPI limits, right? So I do have a note here that I talked about. After you go virtual and you go through your step-by-step process and you really explain to your clients how you're going to be working this tax season, you will lose clients, right? And I'll talk about that right after that. I said losing clients, right? And so some of the things that I said, the prospect of losing clients is normal, right? Some clients are not going to want to work with you because you raise your prices, right? One of the things that we also talked about in chapter 2 is if you've already had low tax prices, then you need to get those up, right? You can't operate your business and be successful and prosperous year after year if you're priced way below market levels. So also talk about pricing in chapter 2 for taxes specifically, right? So it's not uncommon for you to lose clients, one, when you increase your prices, and two, when you change the method on how you are offering your services vis-a-vis going virtual. Okay, this is completely normal. But the key is that you want to have radical transparency with your clients on what this new setup is. You want to make sure that they understand, and you want to kind of over communicate throughout this process, because again, we're trying to retain as many clients as possible, right? So not only are we going to email, not only are we going to send snail mail, we're going to text, we're going to call them. We're going to make sure that all of our customers know our new process and how we are working virtually for this tax season, okay? And going forward. Now, what is this going to do for you, right? Going virtual, imagine what this does for you, right? So instead of you having to sit face to face with somebody, which is, you know what, guys, and I love sitting face to face with people, right? I used to love sitting in front of my clients, right? In the book, I talked about how, I had a Keurig machine and I had all my snacks. I've said these on videos. Like, I love to sit in front of my clients. However, when I did sit in front of my clients, I had a capacity, I had a limit. I had a limit on how many people I can actually serve each day, right? Because you got to take in consideration when you are sitting in front of somebody, you are increasing the time that you're taking to get this client's work completed, their tax return completed. Why? Because you're talking to them, right? You're saying, hey, how was your year? And what do you have up for this year? And what's your plans, right? You're having me and some of my clients, we used to have like these girl chats, right? We'll get caught up on their relationships. They'll get caught up on my relationship, right? It was fun times. However, it went from me preparing a tax return within 30 minutes to now taking an hour and a half, because now we're having this additional dialogue, right? And while that is beautiful, it's hard to scale that way, right? So when I transition from having to sit and spend an hour with every single person, right? Looking out into my lobby and I see people waiting, right? When I transitioned that to now people were just effortlessly sitting in their W-2s, their 1099s, right? Filling out their client organizers. And I was filing taxes from the comforts of my home or wherever I wanted to be. That's when my quality of life started to increase, right? Because if you think about it, when you are in person, when you have a business that's predicated on you having physical contact with somebody where they have to sit in front of you for you to do their taxes, for you to do their bookkeeping, their CFO services, or tax resolution, their tax planning, you are chained to your desk. I remember there were times where during tax season, I could not set a doctor's appointment. Right. And thank God, I had to pick up a kid. So I had to leave my office. But let me tell you what I had to do when I left my office. I had to close up. I had to lock my doors. I had to shut off my open sign, right? I had to be closed for at least 2 hours because I didn't have, a lot of money or resources to have somebody be there every single day. The times that I had to leave the office, I just didn't have the extra money to pay somebody for that. Some days I did, right? Some days my brother helped me, my cousins helped me, but oftentimes I had to close up my tax office. Now, keep in mind the type of anxiety that put me up under, right? Because why? I got this storefront, right? Dynamite Tax and Financial Service on a busy street. Every time I locked that door to go pick up my kids Monday through Friday, because I had to and I wanted to, I'm like, man, what if I miss somebody? What if somebody pulls up and they want to get their taxes filed and the office is not open and I lose out on business. So I had anxiety every single day I would do this. And I'm pretty sure I did lose out on business, right? I'm pretty sure some people pulled up. So I was closed and it was like, this is unprofessional, and drove away, right? And then other times I would pull up to my office. I remember this very vividly, guys. I would pull up to my office and it would be people waiting for me. It'd be clients that just happened to come a little bit earlier, or maybe I was running late because I got caught up in rush hour traffic. So now I got my son, Charlie, in my arm, right? He's like 1 or 2 years old at the time. I got my daughter, Deanna, she's like 4 or 5. I got a bag of McDonald's and I'm like rushing up to my door to open it up so I can sit down, put my kids and get them settled and start serving these additional clients. And I would do that every single day. I would open up my offices at 9, sit with everybody to do their taxes, close it at like 2:30 so I could pick my kiddos up at 3. Get some McDonald's, get something to eat for them, rush back to the office only to find people were still waiting for me, get my kids settled and do taxes until 10 o'clock, sometimes even later at my office with my kids, right? And so what's interesting, if you go to my Instagram page, I opened up, like, I'm so neurotic. Sometimes I archive my photos and then I unarchive them. So I recently unarchived all of my photos on Instagram. So you can go back from like 2014, 2015, 2016, you can see all the pictures that I posted with my kids at the office, right? And, it's hilarious. Go back to my Instagram and see, you're going to see all these photos of the kiddos at the office, bored as I don't know what, some are funny because my son used to get into everything at the office. But I want you guys to know once you transition and you make an intentional effort to go 100% virtual, now you can be in Hawaii preparing taxes, right? Your clients don't need to know that you are out of town, right? Your clients don't need to know that you don't live close by to them. I mean, it's not like we're trying to conceal this, but what I'm saying is when you go and make an intentional effort to build a 100% virtual firm, you have time freedom, right? So when I transitioned from virtual or to virtual, instead of being chained to my desk, Monday through Sunday, because I was working every day during tax season, now I was able to go home, right? Now I'm able to do taxes maybe after I put the kiddos to bed, right? I give them a bath. Obviously, they eat dinner, play with them, have some fun time with them. But now I can finish and prepare taxes on my couch, right? Watching Netflix, eating some ice cream in my pajamas, right? Now I have a lot more time to set doctor's appointments throughout the day. Now I have more time to actually work on my business, right? Because I'm not sitting in front of every last single client, right? So I want all of you to be empowered to go 100% virtual. And in fact, now is never before has it been such a beautiful time to go virtual, right? When I first started teaching people on how to go virtual and how to build a 100% virtual firm, it was pre-COVID, right? We hadn't gone through COVID yet. So people really was still skeptical, like professionals was still like skeptical. And I would frequently get people to ask me like, well, how are people supposed to trust me, right? Now, post-COVID, you guys got this easy now, right? It's like people are almost expecting to work virtual nowadays. You know what I'm saying? So I want you guys to be empowered. And I just want you guys to know that you, need to put in the systems and communicate with your people to make sure that they understand how and what is to be expected when they do work virtually with you, right? As long as your people know what to expect, they're going to be good, right? People just want to feel taken care of. They just want to know what the process is, right? You want to make it plain and clear to them, right? So I know somebody, Brad says, what's this book Chris is referring to? Yeah, so if you just hopped in, you can grab my new book off of Amazon. It's called High Value, High Ticket, How to Build Your Virtual Practice. And in chapter 2, we're talking about 100% building a virtual firm. And in chapter 2, I give you a step-by-step checklist on how to go virtual, right? And then I also give you a client letter that you can use when you go virtual, right? A client template letter that you're going to send to an email as well as through snail mail. You're going to send this virtual letter to all of your clients to make sure that they know what your process is, right? So this is in chapter 2. So every day over this next week, I'm just going to pick a point out of the book to go over with you guys so that you can have it. You can start working on it. And of course, you can grab the book off Amazon. Those that got the pre-order, you already got your pre-orders. You're also going to get an additional book mailed to you if you were on pre-order. But everybody else, the finalized copy is available on Amazon that you can purchase. And if it helps you, just go ahead and leave me a review and let me know, what parts of the book helped you a lot. And yeah, like I said, every day I'll pull a section of this book and talk about it live so that we can kind of go over these strategies together, right? And especially, some people think because they've already been in business, they already got clients, they don't need to go back to some of this stuff. But I would encourage you, even if you are already in business, you already make $100,000 and $200,000, I encourage you to go back to the basics, because oftentimes we think that we have to add on these new things in our business, right? We get this, bright, shining object syndrome, and we start doing things that no longer is propelling our business to the next level, right? Sometimes we need to go back to the basics to say, what are the core fundamentals to growing my business? And let me double down on that rather than trying to implement all these new different strategies and getting distracted, right? So I encourage you, even if you've already been in business, your season, still grab the book. It's going to be a lot of foundational aspects that's going to remind you on the things that you need to do to grow and scale your business. All right. So what questions do you guys have about, making sure that you are 100% virtual this year, right? I want to make sure that you are not taking up time, right? Bless our clients, right? We love them, but I want to make sure that you're not taking up time having to sit in front of clients this year, because I'm telling you, it's going to continue to bottleneck your business, right? You're going to continue to delay the amount of growth that you potentially could have the more you try to sit in front of every last single customer, right? So let's see. I see Jalen. Jalen says, Happy New Year's, New Year, new money. Oh, I like that. New Year, new money. Yes. Jackie says, I've been watching all your videos. Thank you, Jackie. Jackie, Happy New Year. Hey, Brad and Thomas. Thomas says, notification gang. Yeah, shout out to all my OGs who turn on their notifications. And hey, Instagram. All right, guys. Well, I will talk to you soon. Have a beautiful rest of the day. Bye, guys.